Training the Team. Darlington Association on Disability provides information, advice and advocacy to disabled people and is a member of the Dial UK Disability Information Advice Line network. Dial UK identified a need for a comprehensive training resource to support advice staff and volunteers within disabled people's organisations. In 2010, they developed an induction and training handbook in partnership with Disability Lib. Jane piloted the handbook at DAD and was very impressed with it.
We have training and some of the modules, like Disabled People's Organisations, History and Culture, that backs up our disability training, the training that we have around the social model of disability. But it just added a lot more to it. And it just focuses people on specific areas for 2 or 3 hours, which we found really, really useful. There just isn't anything like this anywhere else, so we jumped at the chance to be able to pilot it.
The handbook opens with a module on disabled people's history and culture.
That had a timeline with it, which was really, really interesting, which kind of started off early history right through to the present day, with some examples of images, early artwork or early Egyptian sculpture, and looking at how disabled people have been represented, how disability has been portrayed through the ages. And people found that really fascinating. They actually wanted more information on that. So one of the things that we've fed back to Dial UK is that the timeline was absolutely brilliant, but can we have more examples, please, so that you could then use it for people to go and do their own research, or you could use different examples each time you deliver the training, depending on what people are interested in.
The handbook includes 12 training sessions.
I think customer service one, it got us thinking about having a customer charter, if you like, and I think it also got people thinking about what good customer service is, as opposed to just customer care. It's going beyond the basics, and it's striving for excellence, and I think that message came across really clearly in that particular module. So it certainly reinforced that ethos within our own organisation.
How will DAD use the new handbook?
Well, certainly it means that we can put together a tailored induction programme for new staff and volunteers, adding to the training that we already provide. It means we can take this and we can run it almost like a rolling programme, and people can choose which modules they want to do, depending on where their knowledge gaps are, or where they feel they need a refresher, or if it's something that's identified in personal development or supervision sessions. Then we can run that either as a block of sessions or as and when people need it. And actually the handout chapters I think would be useful on their own as well, because they're quite comprehensive. So it could almost be that if somebody wants to know more about equality, diversity and human rights, for example, which isn't one of the ones that we piloted, but they could take that as a chapter and they could read it, and then they could maybe do a bit more research around it if that's an area they're particularly interested in or want to know a bit more about. So it doesn't have to be hands-on training, it can be self-led learning as well, and I think it's really good to have such a flexible resource like that at our fingertips. It provides you with the generic framework, but you can also tailor it. There's huge potential with it, and there's the potential to add more modules to it as well. We're going to use it all the time as a kind of a core element of our work in training staff and volunteers and in training other advisors as well.
I think within the voluntary sector we need to become more professional. I think we are businesses, we need to run like businesses, and as businesses we have to offer customer service. And I think, in everything that we do in the voluntary sector, we need to be able to benchmark our services and be able to say, well, yes, we do give a quality service. And I think, the manual can be used in such a way. It can be used as a training tool. It can be used as part of induction. It can be used as a refresher course for pre-existing staff. It might be that they've got a little bit rusty, they've not had any training, so it can be used as a refresher. So I think, yes, it's hopefully going to make the groups think more about how they deal with customers.
I'm just wondering, could we maybe look at a Tuesday, because Tuesdays